Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Celso and this is Ryan, and we are here to make our predictions for semi-final 2.
Rehearsals are about to kick off, so these are our predictions for the semi-final and before the rehearsals have taken place. So we'll see what we think is the situation now, and later on we'll see what the rehearsals have to bring.
So the first country is Malta. They've got a banger. It's a very commercial song, very radio friendly, but unfortunately I feel like she will fight for the same votes as Georgia and Austria, and these two countries will perform later in a running order. I feel like the Maltese song will be quite forgettable, so I put Malta in 15th place.
Yeah, I don't think it's the strongest of the female pop songs, and it does have a disadvantage of going first, although going first can arguably said is better than going anywhere from like second to fifth, because at least you have the memorability of being the one that opens the show. Like you said, I think Georgia will be a stronger performance than this one and will take most of its potential votes, and for that reason I have got Malta in 16th, unfortunately.
So the second country that we're going to talk about is Albania. Unfortunately, they didn't got the best running order. I feel like performing before Greece isn't help them at all. The song, I really like the song, but I don't think it's very competitive. They will need to pull off a very good live performance, a very memorable staging. But for that reason, I put Albania in 13th place.
In recent years, Albania have relied on being very Albanian in their songs. If you think back to Johnny Eid in 2019, Angela 2021, Duya last year, I feel like they all qualified because they were appealing to the neighbouring countries, to the Albanian diaspora. And unfortunately, by translating this one and taking away some of the instrumentation that was in Festival of Kungas, I think it's decreased its chances of qualifying. I still think Albania do have a lot of support in the semi-final. If you're looking at Switzerland, for example, and you've got Greece, as you've mentioned. So I think this still will come close, but unfortunately the revamp has just tipped it under the line and put it in 11th for me.
Okay, so the next country is Greece. I feel like it's when the party starts. She brings the ethnic sounds. It's a great song and I feel like the crowd will sing along. So it's a very strong entry and I put Greece in 3rd place. I can see this song qualify for the final very easily.
I think Greece, its only negative point is that I feel on first listen it is quite chaotic and it takes a few listens to understand the structure of it, and I'm not sure how that will go down with first time listeners. However, it's still one of the strongest up-tempo songs and it will definitely appeal to those voters that were always voting for Greece in the 2000s and the early 2010s when Greece was sending these ethno-pop female songs. So yeah, this should be a solid qualifier and I've got it in 5th.
Okay, next in running order is Switzerland. It's one of the Eurovision fan favorites. I feel like the crowd will be pleased with this entry. There are so many genres in this entry. He can perform the song. They will definitely give us a very strong staging. I feel like he will do well. I put him in 5th place. I don't think he's gonna do as well as people think, but he's a qualifier as well.
Yeah, I agree that I'm less sure of its televote success than what it will have with the juries in the final, and it doesn't have the best running order position ever, but it's still definitely one of the most different songs, and Switzerland seem to do staging pretty well, and there's a lot of potential to stage this song, so I'm confident in its chances and I'll put it in 3rd.
Okay, so next we've got Czechia. In my opinion, I don't think she will qualify. I quite don't know what to expect from this entry. We've seen live performance and I'm not really sure about her vocals. I'm sure she can sing, but I don't think she shows us what she can do yet. I'm not sure what they're planning to do with the staging as well, so for that reason, I do enjoy the song, but I don't think performing after Switzerland and just before France will help her. I just put them in last place, 16th place.
Czechia is one of my favourites this year. It has been since it was selected, and I think the revamp is also giving it that added boost. Czechia have a good history of staging. Vesna was really good, We Are Domi was really good, Mikuláš Josef, Friend of a Friend. So I have high expectations that they can give this the staging it needs to elevate, but at the same time it's difficult to see who is going to put this as their first. And it also has the rock battle with San Marino, which could split the vote a little bit there as well. So unfortunately I have to put it in 15th, but I think there is potential for this to rise if it has some good rehearsals.
Okay, after France we've got Austria, a retro pop banger. I love this song. She can sing, she can perform. I can see good things about this song. I feel like this song will take loads of votes from Malta. The song is just a banger, so I put Austria in 9th place. I'm hoping that she can qualify for the final. They really deserve to win the final.
Yeah, I've also got this in 9th place. As long as she performs it solidly, then I think it will muster enough televotes to qualify. Like I say, there is competition with Malta and particularly Georgia coming after it. So I think it should be a safe qualifier, but I don't think it's going to be in the upper reaches as some fans may expect.
Okay, following Austria, we've got Denmark. Unfortunately, it's my 11th place, just outside of the final. I don't think it's gonna be people's favorite. I can't see many people picking up the phone and voting for Denmark. It's a great entry, she performs well, but is something missing to make people vote for them. So for that reason, I put in 11th.
Yeah, if there was juries in this semi-final, I'll have Denmark as a safe qualifier. But like you say, is it going to be many people's favourite or favourite 2 or 3? And I feel like it's a little bit more middle of the pack than that. So for that reason, I do have it down in 13th. But if it did squeeze through to the final, I wouldn't be surprised to see it getting towards the top 10 in the final purely on the jury vote.
Yeah. So Armenia is next. Armenia this year, in my opinion, just delivers quality. I love the ethnic instrumentation of the song. It's very contagious. I can see the crowd going wild with this entry. In my opinion, the Euro fans and the audience in general will vote for them. So I put them in 7th place, and Armenia needs to be at the grand final.
I'm not sold on Armenia this year. I can see that it could get the public vote like Moldova 2022, for example. But I just find this so repetitive, and I'm just not clicking with it at all. I still think it's a qualifier. I've got it in 8th, but I don't see this going anywhere near the heights that Moldova did in 2022.
So following Armenia is Latvia's turn. Unfortunately, I can't see him qualifying. I put Latvia in 12th. I don't think the song is strong enough. It's memorable enough. We will have Belgium after, and I feel like people would easily to pick up the phone to vote for Belgium instead of Latvia. It's a great song, but it's something that is missing to make people vote for this entry.
I have Latvia as a surprise qualifier. I've got them in 10th. And I think back to when I first heard the song, and I thought, oh, if this wins the Latvian selection, it's a certain qualifier finally for them. And I think as more songs have been released, it has just fallen under the radar. But I think it is accessible for that first time listener. And if we think back to Estonia last year, we thought that might miss out on the televote with Simple Ballad, yet it made it through and then ended up doing really well in the final. And I see a similar path for Latvia if they can ensure that he is charismatic with the camera and they build upon the staging they had in Supernova.
Okay, so after Latvia, Spain will perform as well, and then we've got San Marino. I put San Marino in 14th place. I feel like they will get points obviously from Spain, from Italy, and that's why I didn't put them last. I don't think the song has a very strong public vote appeal, but I can see these two countries voting for San Marino, and there is something, doesn't feel like the song is finished. There is something for me that doesn't add up with that entry, but I wish them all the best. But for now, I have to predict them in 14th place.
I have the same reasons in terms of thinking that it does have Spain and Italy to vote for them, and I also have them in 14th. Even though I think Czechia is the stronger song, unfortunately, I don't think they have the same support that San Marino will have. But either way, I don't think San Marino will be able to qualify without some amazing staging. That said, I do prefer it to Nebulosa, so...
Okay, so the next one is Georgia. This song is great. I've got loads of expectations for this performance. We know that she can sing. She will have dance routines. I can see loads of things happen on the stage. So I put it just in 10th place, squeezing in to the final. I hope the people support Georgia. It's about time to have Georgia in a grand final, and the song really deserves to be there.
Yeah, I think Georgia has probably the biggest chance of doing a fuego this year in terms of really coming into its own once rehearsals start. I don't think it's going to be a runner-up or anything like that, but I think it's going to be a solid qualifier, and people will start talking about it a lot more than they are now, because we've seen that she is a fantastic performer, singing and dancing. And Georgia do have a decent history of staging as well. I think they did a decent job with Echo last year. Going back to 2016 was fantastic with Midnight Gold. So I have Georgia in 7th, and I think they'll finally end their streak of non-qualifications.
So following Georgia, this time is Belgium. A great entry. Once more, I don't think it's going to do as well as people think, at least with the public votes. It's very radio friendly, very commercial. It's got charisma. It's got everything to qualify for the grand final, and the song has quality, and it's one of my favorites. It will be good to see Belgium in a final, so I put him at 8th place.
I have Belgium in 6th, which I think will also be lower than what people expect. Similar to Greece in terms of it has an unusual structure that isn't immediate on the first listen, but it does have a fantastic ending. So it's just whether the audience will stick with him until they get to that latter third of the song. I still think it's an easy enough qualifier as long as the staging is somewhat reflective of the music video, perhaps. But in terms of a winner potential in this semi, I don't think it has it.
So next is Estonia. It's a crowd pleaser as well. The audience will love it. It's funny, it's quirky. I can see this song qualify. In my opinion, I wouldn't put him in, but as a prediction, Estonia will definitely be in a grand final, and I put Estonia in 6th place.
I think Estonia might be the surprise non-qualifier in this one, and I've got them in 12th. I just think that any votes they might have got, Netherlands will take them. And I don't think it's as accessible as some of the more novelty entries that are in the other semi-final. Yeah, if there's one novelty entry that won't qualify on the televote, I think Estonia just won't quite click as much as some of the others will. So if there's a novelty entry that won't qualify, I think it'll be Estonia, and that's why I'll put them in 12th.
So after Estonia, we've got Italy and then Israel. Israel, I put in second place. The song has quality. There are loads of people supporting Hurricane. I can see loads of people voting. And the thing is, the song deserves to be in the final. It's a great ballad and is one of the best ballads of this year's contest. So, in my opinion, second place.
Yeah, Israel definitely has the advantage of being one of the only ballads, and it's also a very accessible ballad. She has the vocal gymnastics at the end, and I think she's recently revealed that she's going to have dancers on stage who I'm sure will help recreate the music video. Televoters can only vote positively, they can't vote negatively, and I think this will help Israel also into second place. I think it will do very well indeed.
Okay, next is Norway. It's my favorite to win the contest. No doubt they will qualify. I put them in 4th. The song is just phenomenal. I love the ethnic sounds. She performs well, she sings well. They've got everything to do well at Eurovision, and I feel like they will even do better with the juries than the public vote in a grand final, so easily qualified for me.
I think it's more of a televote song than the jury myself, but I do think it will take the rock vote away from Czechia and San Marino, and it's got a fantastic running order position, and there will definitely be a market out there for it. So I've got it as a fairly safe qualifier, and I have it in 4th place as well.
Okay, and last we've got Netherlands. It's my number 1. It's the fan favorite. It's funny, it's quirky, they've got party vibes. Everyone will go crazy, wild with this entry. Reminds me of kind of same vibe as Finland last year. So everything looks good for the Netherlands. Let's see what's gonna happen in the grand final, but they will easily win semi-final too.
Yeah, I agree. I have it in 1st. I think it's just the perfect closure to a semi-final. With that trance bit towards the end, it's going to get the arena going wild. So yeah, I think it's an easy semi-final winner. And I think juries might prefer this in the final to Croatia, for example. I just feel like it's more of a jury-leaning song than Croatia is. But obviously we'll get to the final at a later stage, so we'll compare them side by side then. But yeah, I have that as a safe 1st place.
Okay guys, this is our predictions before the first rehearsals. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned and see you next video. Bye.
Bye.